So we call the collection of portraits Francis Crawshay worker portraits. They feature workers from the two works that Francis Crawshay was managing at the time, Treforest and Hirwaun. His house is still part of Treforest University campus down there. Francis Crawshay was very uniquely eccentric in many ways. I'll give you one story as an example of his eccentricities. He went to a ball that was being held in Merthyr Tydfil to celebrate the wedding of his brother Robert to his new wife Rosemary Crawshay. And this ball was inviting some of the workers in as well. And so the workers would come in, but because the floor was highly polished and everything was decked out, they said to some of the workers who were coming on shift, do you mind leaving your boots out here, and then come in, have a look around. So when Francis Crawshay came, there were these lines of boots outside, and he thought it would be hilarious to mix up the place. Now, I'm positive that the workers would have hated and resented that beyond belief, but no one found it funny apart with him. He's not your typical Victorian upper-class man, but it's his eccentricities that led to the creation of these paintings. Now, if we go back in time to the 1830s and 1840s, this is a time period where photography doesn't exist. Photography for working class people as well. So a way of visually recording yourself or your family members or someone that means something to you cheaply was way off. Portrait painting, they were making oil paintings to order and making them specifically for the upper middle classes. If you think to yourself, okay, I'm looking at a painting of a Welsh person from the 1500s. The likelihood is that Welsh person is a wealthy person. If you look at a painting of a Welsh person from the 1600s or 1700s, or even early 1800s, the likelihood is that person is of quite substantial wealth. So you're not only getting that, you're getting that visual representation of all of these workers. However simplistic these paintings look, they have hidden in them such deep detail that it tells us massive stories about their lives. But the one amazing thing that the Francis Crawshay work portraits did is they made a record of the names. We can look at a set of paintings of industrial workers in Wales in the 1830s and not just look at them, we can find out about their whole lives and put the two together. Now, I'm sure many of you have done family history and family research and things like that over the years. Well, imagine you dig in through and you find your ancestors on the census records and things like that, and you find that they're a puddler or cinder filler, and you'd be like, that's fantastic. But again, visualising that for us and having an idea of what that would have been is quite difficult. The Hirwaun shopkeeper, a shopkeeper that is dressed like a very wealthy person, but again, the likelihood is that he only had like one or two of those outfits and he was dressing up for his job, being very smart. White to the white trousers will tell you that he's not a manual worker outside. The foreman carpenter here who lived in Penderyn and worked in Hirwaun. Now you might look at his outfit, his dress, and think, well, he's an upper class gentleman, he's a wealthy gentleman because he's dressed very smartly. But if you look closer, all of his clothes, all of that smart dress is worn. White patches and brown patches, not artistic play, they're artistic accuracy. So they literally are depicting that he's wearing a worn suit. So that's likely one of the only suits he has, because he's a foreman at Hirwaun. He's got a standard and he's wearing that constantly. He's a manual worker. So it's wearing at the arms, and at the legs, on the chest. Getting these little tidbits of history that you can't just get from the written records. It's bringing the history to life in a different way. Cinder filler on top here, David Davis on top, with his spade and the cinders glowing in the background. Again, if you were to look back into your family history and you read on your census that your ancestor was a cinder filler, you go, that's amazing. And someone will go like, aren't you? What's a cinder filler do? And you go, I focused. But you can see here what a cinder filler is. They work and toil all day with a spade, putting cinder into the drams and other things to shift them off. The coat he's wearing, the leathers that he's wearing would be called doe skins. When you look at that closer, you look at his buttons missing. Again, not artistic phrase, artistic accuracy. It's showing that he's wearing that every day. And those doe skins, that leathery material, would be the only thing protecting them from the heat. The puddler who uses a long iron rod to stir the molten mixture in the puddling furnace to flip it around and to turn it into a pudding ball before it gets taken and hammered into shape. There was one very interesting guy. He called them cycloptic workmen. Now, what he meant by that is they weren't one-eyed people walking around the place making iron. Is that they worked with these hats, these very large rimmed hats, pulled down to obstruct most of their sight and most of their vision. Just a little snippet out on the side, because they stayed into a white hot oven for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. They're trying to preserve as long as possible their ability to do the work. Because as soon as they lose their sight, that's it. There's no sick pay, there's no welfare state, there's no nothing they've done. But the interesting thing about this butler is that it actually depicts the sight totally gone in one eye. So he's actually blind in one eye. So we not only get a representation of a working class man in industrial Wales, we get a depiction of a disabled working class man in industrial Wales, which is incredibly rare. But there's also two. So we've got our mine agent here, Evan Bryant. He's wearing a bit of a padded doeskin suit. It's a bit more of a upper class, bit of kit for miners and wanting to protect themselves a bit more. And a mine agent is a very well-paid job. On the other side of that outfit, you can see quite nice clothes hiding away on the inside. Quite vibrant colours. Again, giving you a very distinct image. But he's also missing an arm, because Evan Bryant lost his arm in a mining accident. Disabilities and injuries were rife around the South Wales industrial valleys. But how many of you have seen any images of injured or disabled industrial workers in the 19th century? I bet none of you have seen any. But there's two right here for us. One of the strangest things about these paintings, though, I think, is they weren't painted for the people themselves. Don't think of them like these paintings and portraits were made for these individual people. They weren't. These individual people probably never saw them. Because as soon as they were done, they went into a Crawshay family home and sat on the wall. So they were sitting in the Crawshay home up until 2012, publicly viewed now and again, but really not that much at all. Tells you again about Francis Crawshay and his eccentricities. He commissioned a painter to go out and paint his workers and then put them on his own wall. Totally unique. I can't give you many other examples. There's a close example up in North Wales with domestic kind of workers, but there's very, very few examples of this type of thing. He wanted to be reminded of the workers, of the workforce and everything. If you look at paintings of this time, many of them are in here, the workers are kind of silhouetted. They're there because they're part of the landscape. They're not there as the focus. And so, yeah, you may go past this and you may not instantly think that it's a good representation of Wales or something, that it's not diverse, but it really is. It is so representative of a visual record of history that Wales doesn't have at all, really.